Anyway, I wanted to check this out. Hopefully you guys find this entertaining. But YouTube just made some huge changes, and I just want to go over them. Especially for any other VTubers, I do try to be as in the community as possible. If you're checking me out or you're here, we're all, please watch Penguin Zero. He's super good about getting this kind of info out there.
This is more rare than winning the lottery. In November,
what did they change,
made
dude? Tell me.
changes to their monetization policy, which overnight slapped a ton of channels and demonetized a
That was the
large
most
portion
recent
of their
change,
catalog
yes.
With no
Luckily, I'm not.
whatsoever
Luckily,
that it
I'm
was
not
coming.
monetized
Pretty
or
much
partnered with
overnight, a ton
them.
of channels
Had that
their
revoked a
income
while back.
drastically affected.
P.S. YouTube, you still have my $7 from back in like 2015 when I used to do YouTube. I earned like $7 from YouTube, and then frickin', I love you, but Pewds frickin' started the frickin' apocalypse. And they've been holding on to my $7 all these years, man.
Which led to fear
I expect
and
interest.
Outrage, naturally. They decided that it was time to really sterilize the content. No more of
Yes,
those
you're not allowed to
naughty
get your first check from
sailor
YouTube until you make at least
sentence
$100.
enhancers. Welcome to Weenie Hut.
I never
Jr.,
did. I was
bub.
very early in the
So
process.
they punished a lot of channels, and today they actually announced that they're reverting that change.
Yes! Master Sam! They're reverting it! Which means we can go back to foul language and minor gore.
On the bad words.
Oh, yes!
So they're no longer...
Okay, F-bomb in the first 7 seconds or repeatedly can receive limited ads. Okay, that's fair. All curse words no longer treated the
They're going to
same.
be treating all curse
Moderate
words
profanity
equally.
at any
There's going to
time
be
can get the
tiers to
green
them
icon.
Because
So basically, just try to be very careful at the beginning of the stream or the video.
obviously there should be. Not every curse word's the same. You can't.
Oh,
argue
Degenerate
that
Wave's gonna be so
hell
happy.
and
There's so
damn
many bad
are
words in the
same
script.
level as the fuck. The original policy
What's
said that
happening here?
all bad words are going to be equal in the eyes of the algorithm. So it was a big problem that now
Oh,
they've
for some- I
recognized
stepped on
was a
my
problem,
cable.
so they've dialed it back. They're also being more flexible on the harshness of the language you can
Profanity
use
in
the
title and
content
thumbnail
be
still can't run
monetized
ads.
for.
Okay,
Not only
okay,
that,
yeah.
they're finally showing us how the sausage is made and is no longer just making it vague statements. They are making it very clear what is and is not going to trigger different levels of monetization. What
I
is
need
and
to
is
read
not allowed
this.
for full
Okay.
monetization. What will
I mean, they
result-
sent me some surveys and stuff as well, and I answer all those honestly and brutally. And I've seen some of the material.
in limited monetization and what exactly will result in no ads. They finally laid it all out plainly and clearly, so there's no guesswork anymore. Overall, this is a very surprising announcement because I can't even
Neil's
recall
trying to
the
get
last
brownie
time
points. I'm
YouTube
happy, Neil. I am
reverted
happy.
A policy change.
Don't bring no
the
crypto.
only one that even tickles
Don't
my
bring no
noodle
NFTs.
Is when
Don't you
Google
do it.
Plus still existed.
Don't bring that
and you had
scam,
to
and
sign up
it's
for
our
Google
community, bro.
Plus to
I ain't dealing with
comment
it.
on YouTube videos. But I feel like the only reason that got taken away is because Google Plus got taken away. That got buried like a fucking dinosaur.
Google
when
Plus.
The service ceased to exist. Thus, it could no longer exist on YouTube as a commenting feature. And it's been like 10 years since then. God rest the soul of Google Plus. I know all 3 people that used it are probably still very distraught about it.
I am.
May the time heal those wounds. But I feel...
It's actually 2 of the people who use Google Plus is me and Chaos. Actually, I'm not even lying. We used it for a little bit, it gave up. It's like Google Hangouts, really, really good service. Actually, clearer, nicer freaking response than phone calls. But you couldn't get anybody on it, so...
I feel like I'd remember...
I could literally
if
only
they
type to
actually
Chaos.
reverted that change before Google Plus's collapse. And I don't remember any announcement like that. I think they were stubbornly going to ride or die on Google Plus, and then Google Plus died. So, not even that really fully qualifies, I don't think. I actually just can't think of another policy change they've ever walked back on. I really can't. This is truly a unicorn here. It's super refreshing.
It shows
and I'm
growth,
thankful
YouTube.
that
It shows
they're,
growth. Yes.
going back on this change. So now you
Good-
can,
good
again,
first
say
move.
your
Good step.
fucks. You can then say,
Well,
whatever
my-
other colorful
my-
language you want to include
We'll move
without
this guy
fear
back
of
over
your
here.
livelihood being threatened for it or anything
Yeah.
like that. But I am
Just get-
admittedly confused.
Thank you for the
that
info.
This is the first change that they're publicly eating shit on, saying that this was too
Yeah.
far, too Insano style, it wasn't how we wanted it to be, and we've listened to the feedback, so we're going to revert those changes. I'm just surprised it's this one as opposed to dislikes.
They want a
They
mic
removed
drop moment. Now just remove
a long
dislikes.
time
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
And people still are very vocal
That
about
if
how
you do
awful
this
the
and
decision that
then
was, and
the
people are
dislikes,
still
oh,
very much wanting dislikes
you're gonna make a lot of
to be
people happy,
enabled
Neil.
on the platform. And I feel like that's a pretty easy one for them to do because dislikes still exist. It's just not publicly accessible on the platform without an extension. So they could easily flip that switch back on.
I'm also posting
and it'd be
everything
a
on the
slam
chats, my
dunk
dudes.
to showcase
You
that
guys
they
want to
actually
support?
are listening to feedback now.
And
I think this is a
I'll
great
get the
first
vending
step,
machine
like,
trailer.
Hey, don't get me wrong, I'm happy about this. You know, hey, we heard you. We're reverting this change. It wasn't a good change. But why not also extend that to something like dislikes? And also, they haven't made any mention on that violent content policy that they updated at the same time as the cursing policy, where a lot of channels were also hit by that if they were playing a
For
video
gore.
game that was a
So
little
that's...
too violent. So,
so
there
that's
is
not...
still room for improvement, but it
okay.
is a good first.
Well, at least South Park has just become a little bit more, like, viable. Not too much gore in that. Oh, goodness.
Step that I'm thankful for. So I just wanted to at least point out a couple of other things that I would like them to address as well.
Yes.
Of course, the biggest being bringing fucking dislikes back.
Yes,
one more
please.
pretty important thing that I'd like to talk about.
We
they actually
need
put out
it.
a video going over everything and explaining it in greater detail with an actual face to the policy. This is their lead monetization guy. And I half expected
take a
this
sip
to just
of
be
water
like a
real
fucking
quick. Hold on.
android or robot or something, but they actually have the real living, breathing human being that's behind these monetization changes and these monetization policies coming forward to explain it.
This November aimed to improve the clarity and enforcement of our advertiser-friendly guidelines, and to make it easier for creators to monetize brand-safe content.
Oh my goodness, dude! Why does this guy just remind me so much of my HR dudes? Like, he probably is an
Get how the
HR.
November change was supposed to make it easier to monetize brand-friendly content.
It made it much more difficult. It made it incredibly difficult. You absolutely butchered that attempt.
Didn't seem to have any effect on what was already considered brand-friendly, so that seems like kind of a nothing point. And I'm also not on board or subscribed to the belief that it was done with the intent of clarifying their policies on, you know, cursing and all that, when it was just a full overhaul of what is and is not allowed in regards to monetization. So changing, like, the first 15 seconds, you can't say anything that's even...
Dude, what's even worse, like, and to the point that he's making, I would ask so many people, dude, so many people, like, what is it? Is it 10 seconds, 30 seconds? Is it a minute? I have heard different freaking stuff from different freaking people, man. Nobody could tell. Nobody knew. We were all left in the dark. If you asked, I would send, like, Jack Patillo said a minute, right? Freaking, oh goodness, I'm so sorry, why am I blanking on your name? Some VTubers that I was talking to in the Twitch community, I'm so sorry. I've talked to a lot of people lately, like, while I've been sick. They told me it's 30 seconds. Some people told me it was 80 seconds, which would be like a minute and then some, so it's like, I don't know anymore. But I'm glad that now we're finally getting
somewhat
legitimate, just straight
shit like
answers from
that,
the source, dude.
treating all
How is
curse
it so
words
impossible?
equally. That's not really providing clarity, that's just completely changing what's already been established. So I'm a little confused on what the actual goal was, if the goal itself wasn't to make it a more strict environment, which it seems like, from what he's saying, that's not what they were intending.
Since then, we heard concerns from creators about the impact of this change. Upon reviewing our own enforcement data, we found the profanity policy resulted in a stricter approach than we intended. As a result, we are making the
Stricter than intended. You wrote the thing. What do you mean?
following changes to better reflect the goals of our initial update in November.
Again, that statement has me scratching my head like I got
Yeah.
fucking lice. I'm very confused.
Hey guys, we outlawed every... That's literally like, oh, I hate it. Like, I don't want to make a huge, exaggerated, like, connection here, but it's like, could you imagine if they were like, hey guys, so, from now on, if you drive above the speed limit in America, I know the rest of the world is like speed limits, but from now on, you're gonna go to jail if you pass that speed limit. Oh man, oh sorry, we didn't intend for it to be that strict. It's like, what do you mean? You did intend it to be that strict?
How could you not have seen that this profanity change makes it a more restrictive environment? If that wasn't the goal, like, it seems like the goal was
it's literally made just to make it stricter,
in order to make everything cleaner for people that, you know, rely on AdSense for their livelihood on the platform, right? I don't understand it.
I genuinely feel sympathy for the people who are using AdSense and YouTube to make money, and don't have like alternative streams of income, because whether it's a day job or whether it's merchandise or whether it's, you know, whatever it happens to be, Patreon and all that. But it's like, just like with Twitch, man, it must be the most unstable, like anxiety-inducing, like,
Exactly
you know,
what the goal
stream
was.
of
The goal
income,
wasn't
man.
to change that policy itself, because he seems to insinuate that the belief was it would make things easier. How? In what fantasy world would that have?
You know what would
actually
make
been
things
the
easier?
result from policy
Hiring
change? It
better
just makes everything a lot more
and less
tough
restrictive
and harsh to create.
moderators.
We are no longer
Like that have been that like, not like they're moderators, I guess, but like the actual people who are in charge of flagging content on
treating
YouTube.
all profanity equally.
Like,
Usage
hire
of modern
more.
profanity, words like
And tell them
bitch,
to chill the heck
douchebag,
out, dude.
asshole, shit, at any time in the video content is now eligible for green icons.
I didn't expect him to say those words. It's just coming out of his calm voice.
Under the
Say it one more time
November
for me.
update, words like bitch, douchebag, asshole, shit, at any time in the video content is now eligible for green icons.
Yay!
This would have received
I'm gonna start a list of all the things I can
usage of
curse now.
stronger
I don't want to curse,
F
but
word in the first 7 seconds or repeatedly throughout the majority of the video.
and not because like I have
Now
something
run
against
the
cursing. I
results.
love cursing,
Under
but
the November
it's so
update,
much
this
funnier
would
trying to
receive
like work around it, you know?
When he really spells out the November update, you can truly hear just how fucking brutal it was. So it is fantastic that they're walking it back. That is great. And it's also lovely to hear this guy say things like bitch, asshole, and douchebag, and he even says fuck
I do like the word douchebag. I think that's a very minor word.
too. He refers
I feel
to it as
like
the F word here.
Like a douche is an actual thing. It's an actual object. Like,
But
it's
he
a
gets little
toiletry that you can
loosey-goosey
use here in the
with
U.S.
it,
What do you mean?
in a little bit. He just straight up drops a fuck in there, which is pretty cool to hear.
Content using profanity.
What about turd
moderate,
sandwich? Can we use
or
turd
stronger
sandwich?
Words like fuck after the first 7 seconds will now be eligible for green icons, unless
After
used
the first 7
heavily
seconds.
throughout the majority of the video. As was the case before the update in November, use of any profanity, be it something like shit or the F word, in titles.
I love how much he's using is the bad words, you know?
Yellow icon.
Like, this is such a great example of what we can say. Why haven't you been doing this from the start?
I really
love
do
this.
appreciate his matter-of-fact way of presenting this. He just lays down
Yeah.
the brass tacks, and he does it in 4 minutes. It's pretty concise. It's bite-sized.
Amazing.
That way you get all the information you need, and
This
you'll
is the
know
best
exactly
update video you've made
what
so far,
will
YouTube.
result in monetization status. So I actually think it's a really great thing that they've done here. I don't know if they normally do this, and I've just been missing it. But if this is new, I hope they continue it, because it leaves no more room for vagueness or misinterpretation of policies. I think that's nice. I also think it's a good thing that they have the head honcho here of the department being the principal actor here in the content, so that way he can be the face of it the way that it should be, since he is the one that leads the policy monetization team. So, overall, I am very appreciative that they have reverted these changes. I'm not going to play the rest of the video where he goes more in depth on more of the profanity
I will
changes.
check
You
that
can
out on my own.
yourself, so that way
Awesome.
you have more clarity on it as
Awesome,
well.
awesome,
But
awesome.
overall, a
Oh,
great change.
I
It
wasn't
seems like
even
it's going back to the way it
aware
was
of that video
before
yet. I haven't
November.
freaking-
And actually, from the sound of what he was saying, it
I'm
seems
so glad.
even better than it was pre-November. But maybe now.
It's like thank you so much, but all of my High on Life content was so freaking just buried, dude.
I'm just not remembering exactly how the policies used to work. Regardless, though, it is a good thing. This is a rare YouTube W on this situation.
Yes,
I'm happy
my
for
dude.
it, but I think there's still more work to do. I do hope they continue.
Dude, they
this. I
can
hope this is
really
the
do
start
an
of
amazing
more
move right now. Just
transparency,
bring back
a
dislikes.
willingness to listen
You
to the
will you will
community in regards
please
to
so
changes
many
that they've
content
made.
creators.
I'm hopeful that this won't be a one-off decision that they make.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
We can start tackling some other
W,
problems,
big time.
like the dislikes being hidden still. But anyway, I just wanted to keep everyone updated on this situation. That's about it. So yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm so happy. Thank you. It's literally the best change they've done, man. All of my content was suppressed so harsh. The only High on Life content that was not suppressed to oblivion was the shorts, and that's because they tend to be a little bit more Is douchebag or profanity English? It's for the very sensitive few, yes. But otherwise, no one really sees it that offensive. I usually see it as a bad thing, but not a profanity. I remember the situation in South Park, the Stick of Truth, where the characters... Yeah, there was an entire episode of South Park, like, where they had to vote on douchebag and turd sandwich, Master Sam. It's freaking... I never understood how that one was such a bad word. But whatever, dude. It's insane. I'm so glad that they're reverting some of this stuff, and it's exciting me that they're actually so, like, I know so many people that were just getting flagged, some people who are starting to debate, like, I speak to a lot of VTubers on Twitter, some of them were genuinely debating going back to working, like, day jobs, and I'm like, oh, dude, that sucks to just barely get to that point, where you're finally able to just, you know, I can finally start to use this as a legit thing, and then just get freaking, ugh. Man, I'm glad. That's all I can say on that. I will check out the rest of the stuff on my own time, and if I notice anything weird, I'll probably bring it up. But,